So much has changed in the last 12 months, and as a result, many people are beginning to wonder about the year ahead. Are things going to stay the same for the foreseeable future? Will things be different? If so, when? Never before has there been so much uncertainty. Leaders everywhere are scrambling, trying to figure out how to plan for the year ahead, and if that planning, given the circumstances, should be different than previous years. Let's dive into this together, and together let's try to just cut through all the crazy chatter that's out there. I want to give you a simple and super effective framework to help you plan for the year ahead, and something that you can share with your team to help them plan. Before I get into that though, I put something in the description that will help you lead your team and scale your business this year. Go check it out. Okay. I am just as curious about the year ahead as you are. All the uncertainty out there has created a massive misconception that we have to come up with a crazy plan that takes in consideration a ton of new variables. Like, what if this happens, or what if that happens? Stop. It doesn't have to be that complicated. Nowhere is it written that we have to join the crazy that the rest of the world wants us to engage in. You can be different. You can choose to be different, right? You can choose to be simple, concise, and consumable. I had one of my students in my Self 2.0 leadership development program that just finished up at the end of December asked a really good question in our last session. She said, Riv, any advice on how we can plan for the year ahead? And I gave them a homework assignment. It wasn't a hard assignment, but it did require some work. For you, it'll require putting into practice one of the major leadership principles that I often speak about if you follow my work. That leadership principle is to make quiet time for reflective thinking. And as you think about the year ahead, I encourage you to dedicate some time to answer 3 questions. It'll probably take you about 30 to 45 minutes to really think through this. The first question is, where were you? Right? Time travel back to the beginning of 2020. Where were you as a leader? Like when the year started, think back to January. Visualize how you showed up last January. What did the old you do that you weren't proud of then? And then that caused you to go into the year with setting a bunch of personal growth goals, right? What did you want to improve at when the year started? Now think about, the second question is, where are you now? Without question, it's been a wild and crazy year, right? Some would even say it's been, quote, unprecedented. Personally, I don't know about you, but I've learned to really dislike that word this year, right? Without question, many unforeseen changes were thrown our way, both at work and at home, that forced us to adapt. And as a result, where are you now? What did you learn this past 12 months, right? What new skills did you actually develop? How are you different today than you were a year ago? Take a moment and be proud of what you navigated through and specifically how you did it. Take stock of the person you are today. How have you grown as a result of the experiences that you had to go through? The third question is, where are you going? Now it's time to look ahead. Resist the temptation to look too far ahead. Instead, just focus on the next 12 months. What's next for you? What skills do you need to work on and or develop? And specifically, how will those skills benefit you going forward? What type of help would support you best? Now zoom in. What specifically do you want to accomplish in Q1? Who can help you? One of the key questions you got to ask is learn to ask who, not how. All right, now pause for a second. Breathe. Take a sip of water if that helps. Breathe again. I want you to seriously take note of what I just did. Learning what and how to do something as a leader is only part of the equation. It's the intellectual part. Knowing why you do it is where the gold nugget lies. Learning the why is what separates you from others. You're here right now because you want something more. Most leaders are in a rush. They're looking for a quick fix, some quick takeaway they can go apply to their business, right? Those are the leaders that are typically more robotic. They're the same ones who are frustrated most of the time. The reason they're trapped on an endless treadmill is because they don't take the time to understand why they do what they do. The good news is that's not you. You're different. At LXU, we too pride ourselves in being different. In all our coaching programs, we pride ourselves in giving everyone we interact with a glimpse behind the curtain so they know why we do what we do, not just what it is that we do, right? The reason we do this is so that you can lead your team with ease and grace and become the leader others want to follow. I want you to note again what I did. 3 simple questions. Where were you? Where are you? And where are you going? The power of 3. The power of simplicity. The power of not overcomplicating something, but instead making something extremely consumable. 3 simple questions, right? Where were you? Where are you? Where are you going? The gold is not the questions that I just asked, right? That was just a super simple assignment that I as a leader gave. Instead, the gold is in showing you how powerful it is to reflect, evaluate, and plan. Having the ability to reflect, evaluate, and plan is the precursor to effective execution. Now imagine for a second if your team had a similar experience in the year ahead as a member of your team, right? Imagine if you taught everyone that worked for you the power to reflect, evaluate, and plan. What difference would that make for you? What difference would that make for your business? What difference would that make for them? And that, my friends, is where every leader should begin in 2021. If you don't know where you're going, how will you know when you get there? That's how you grow, that's how your team grows, and that's how your business grows. Before you move on to something else, go get access to my Move the Needle Challenge, where I go deeper into a lot of important leadership topics, like what I shared today. Follow the link in the description to learn more. Learn more about how you and your team can embrace change, focus your efforts, and move the needle on what's important. Okay, if you liked what I shared, do me a favor, give it a like, right? Share a comment that's related to your business, and of course, subscribe, because each week I'm sharing content that will help you lead your team and scale your business. I'll talk to you soon.